Hey everyone, it's Chris Durst from Rat Race Rebellion, and I have another scam for you today. This one is really strange. It's not strange in that it's a scam that I've never seen before. On the contrary, I've actually talked about this type of scam in my videos before, and maybe you've seen the equipment scams. What's really strange about this is the way the scammer or scammers executed this con. Um, at the end of the day, I don't know if I was speaking with one person or two people or three people for sure. I suspect it was one person who had like three balls in the air all the time, pretending to be three different people. And you'll see why I think that as we go through. And I'm going to try to lay all of these different conversations out in a way so that you can see this person in your mind, like trying to change hats. And I think that they were just utterly confused. And it's probably because they were talking to me as three different people, while at the same time talking to other victims. And I put that in quotes because I'm actually, I'm not a victim. I'm pretending that I am. But they probably had other real victims that they were speaking to at the same time. And they were getting short and irritated. And it's just really, really strange. I'm going to do my best to try to lay these conversations out so that you can see that juggling going on. So bear with me. This is just really bizarre. I think you'll agree. Let's check this out. So let's start at the beginning and I'll show you where I found the job post that I replied to, just so that you can get a bead on how I set these guys up while they think they're setting me up. So as usual, I went to one of these sort of fly-by-night Facebook groups that are set up for people to find work from home jobs. And in this case, I ran into this ad right here. Let me just stop this video. And the reason that I video this is because a lot of times, once they realize they've been found out, they'll remove all of the evidence. So I've learned the hard way that it's good to capture it as it's going along, and that's exactly what we're looking at here. So this job ad was placed by this guy, Jaden Alexander, supposedly out of Canada, and you can see the come on here. Supposedly he's looking for people to work for Cognizant Technology Solutions. All these different positions. It's the same MO we see from these scammers all the time on Facebook. Great for retirees and young adults. If you've seen my other scam videos, you know that that's a pretty common come on. So he had said, message me if you're interested for more info. So that's what I did. I sent Mr. Jason Alexander a Facebook message, and that's where the whole conversation gumbo started. And you can see I started off with please tell me more about the Cognizant opportunity. And he hit me with very much a lot of the information that he had already given in his previous post. And it took me a little while to get back to him. So I said, my apologies. I didn't see your message until just now. I would be very interested in the customer service position. He says, okay, where are you from? I live in Massachusetts. I don't, but I have a good fake driver's license from Massachusetts that I created. So it's really convenient for me to say that I'm from Massachusetts. So I said, where are you located? Took him a little while to respond. So I said, hello. He said, okay, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. It's work from home. Now, make note in this conversation of how many times he tells me that this is a work from home or remote position, okay? I think he mentioned it up here. No, he didn't mention it in his first message. So the game starts here. It's work from home. Are these positions available to people living outside of Canada? I'm in the United States. I say, yes, I understand it's home-based. That's one of the reasons I'm attracted to it. He says, yes, it's a remote job. That's 2. You will be doing your work online. That's 3. Yes, as I said, I understand it's a remote job. To which he replies, yes. He said, I will refer you to the company hiring manager for the interview. And he gives me the Facebook link for her. Now it says attachment unavailable because she has since then, of course, as they all do, blocked me from the Facebook account, but have no fear. I did manage to save a bunch of stuff before she did that. So he says, text the company hiring manager for the interview. I said, text her? Do you mean I should send her a Facebook chat message? Yes. And I said, okay. To which he responds, that is the company hiring manager link. And I said, can I ask you what your role is in the recruitment process? I replied to your post on Facebook. And he said, tell the company hiring manager from me. Okay. And he says, have text her before. I'm not sure what that means, have text her before. I think he's telling me that he texted her to let her know that I would be in touch. And I said, I know. I just wanted to know if you work for the company yourself. And he says, yes, Mr. Jaden Alexander. Like, already, I'm so into this conversation because I know it's going to be a trip.
A trip.
This guy already, his head is just going bobbling around. I said, yes, I see your name on the message box. Thanks. I said, okay. He said, okay, when you're done with the interview, let me know. And I said, I just sent Kimberly a message. And he says, okay. All right. So this is how the conversation begins with Jaden Alexander. So now, of course, I've gotten in touch with Kimberly. So let me bring you over to my conversation with Kimberly. So here we go. I start the conversation by saying, Jaden Alexander told me I should reach out to you directly about your work from home job. He's not very smart, so I'm hoping you and I can have a more intelligent conversation. To which Kimberly responds, okay. Hello, before we proceed, I am Kimberly, one of the 5 manager of Cognizant Technology Solutions Company. Please introduce yourself. Where do you located and what position are you applying for? Oh, Kimberly, now I'm suspecting you're not really in Canada. Say, hi, I'm Janice Sample. And then just to explain why I'm contacting her from Christine Durst's Facebook, I say, I'm using my roommate's Facebook as mine was hacked. I'm in Quincy, Massachusetts, USA, looking for a customer service position. And he responds, okay. And I say, okay, and how do I apply? Like, okay is not a good answer when somebody has just answered a question that you've asked. I will be asking you your interview questions. I said, now? The response was, okay. I said, okay. Are you currently employed? I said, I'm ready in response to the previous answer, and then yes. You're currently employed? Yes, part-time. Okay. Is that a problem? Are you to work long or flexible hour? Are you to work long or flexible hour? Yep, that's what they said. I said, I can be flexible. Okay. Why should we hire you? Now, world's worst answer if you're actually talking to an HR person, but I'm not. So I'm a very hard worker who takes my job seriously. Okay. Do you have an iPad or laptop? I have a laptop. Where is Cognizant Technology Solutions located? Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Here we go again. It's an online job. So either they're all trained to just respond with anything about location with it's remote, it's work from home, it's online, or I'm talking to the same person wearing a different hat. Watch this as we go forward. I said, okay, yes, I know. I know it's online, remote. How long do you intend to work with the company? For as long as I'm needed or until I decide the company is too much trouble. Okay. How many hours are you willing to work per day? 4-hour minimum per day or 40 hours minimum per week? Huh. Or maximum per week. Okay. That was my bad. I misread that. I said, I can work at least 5 hours per day. Okay. This person loves okay. What is your greatest strength? So this is where I start to tickle him a little bit. My ability to see people for who they really are. Okay. When would you be available if get hired? Immediately. Okay. What do you consider to be your weaknesses? I tend to be unforgiving when people lie to me, but I'm working on that. Okay. Payroll method. Mobile deposit. That's fine. What's the name of the bank which you currently operate with so we can see if it tallies financially with the company's official salary payment account? I bank with Bank of America. I also have an account with Wells Fargo. Okay. Tell me your cell phone number, home address, city. So I send the made-up address that's on my made-up license. And he says, okay, because that's what he says best. And I say he because I'm pretty sure I'm talking to a man here and not a woman. Well, you've done well so far, and you seem like a perfect fit for this position. I need you to hold on online because I need to forward our conversation to the head department to enable them to see if you are committed and good for this job. I need you to hold back online for 5 to 10 minutes. And I say, of course. And he says, I will be back. And I say, okay. And he does come back and tells me congratulations. And using the same darn catchphrase that they all do, that just batch of words that they throw out. They're thrilled that I'm so well qualified because of my commitment, charisma, diligence, and be a productive employee. My salary will be $35 an hour, and I'll be receiving my payment by check and mobile deposit weekly. If you are okay with this job offering, get back to me. And I say, amazing. When do I start? And he says, okay, you guessed it. You will be receiving your duties online every day, and I will always be online to assist you with any difficulties, okay? You would be eligible to benefits after 1 month of working with the company. Benefits offered are health insurance, vacations, bonuses. Okay? Yes, okay. All right. He changed it up from okay to all right. You will be undergoing 1 week of online training, blah, blah, blah. And I say, he talks about the training materials. As soon as you have all of your working materials and you are rest assured that you will be paid for it. And I say, okay, what do you mean by working materials? Because I know now that this is going to be part of the game is, he's going to want to talk about the equipment and software, etc. So he tells me the company will provide a MacBook Pro laptop with a fast internet connection. And by the way, you might notice don't know if you can see it here, but I'll pull it up afterward. That Kimberly's profile picture is a MacBook Pro. Now, this is probably the one laptop that they have. And you'll see why I say that too later in the conversation. But the company will provide you with a MacBook Pro with fast internet connection, and your W-4 form will be coming along with the working materials you need to start working with. I say, okay. You will ship the computer to the address I provided? Yes. What do I need to do next? Here are the names of the softwares you will need to start working with my job, Business Essentials software. So he gives me this whole list. And one of the things I love is he uses the apostrophe S on these. So again, English clearly not the first language. I'd like to get started ASAP. Okay. Oh, do I have to purchase all of that from my own account? How do you expect me to pay for all that software? I'm trying to move things along here a little bit. Your training supervisor will need you to get your programs ready to enable you work accurate with him or her. Are you familiar with the softwares? Some of it, but not all of it. Is the company going to pay for all of that software? Okay, he says the funds for the MacBook Pro laptop software will be provided for you by the company. Make sure you use them as instructed for the software, and I will refer you to the vendor to make a payment for the purchase of your working materials from OK? I've seriously read that correctly, okay? Of course, that makes sense. Yes. Are you on Telegram? I don't think so. Oh, wait, my friend has it installed on her phone. She said to be careful, though, because a lot of scammers use Telegram. And he says, don't worry, the company officer will text you. And I said, that's better. Thank you. And then he sends me this picture of the MacBook. Okay, like, okay, here we are. We must be real because here's a computer. Wow, now I'm convinced. I had some reservations, but now that I see your computer, I'm convinced. So I said, how soon will that be so that I can be prepared before the next person gets in touch with me? And he said, that's the company MacBook Pro laptop. And I said, okay. The company will provide funds for the softwares by check. The check will cost 1,000 USA dollars. You are to deposit the check with your bank mobile app to deposit the check into your account by uploading the image of the check. And once the funds are available in your account and ready to use, you are to deduct $100 for yourself as a sign-on bonus, and the rest of the funds in your account will be to purchase for the purchase of your working softwares and laptop.
Take a breath.
Long sentence. I will forward you the details of the vendor whom you will be making the purchase from. Do you understand this part? Yes, I understand. I have a Bank of America mobile app, so the mobile deposit will be easy. Will this happen today or later in the week? I want to make sure I'm monitoring my messages for the arrivals so I can start the equipment purchase quickly. And he says, okay, it will be on Monday. Now, all of this conversation is happening on Sunday, and you're going to hear one of them crabbing about it, probably this one too, because there's a lot of back and forth and they're losing their Sunday. So, but hey, you want to scam people, you better be available every day of the week, damn it. So, he says, did you got a text from the company account officer? Now, I mean, this is right after he said it's going to be on Monday. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm off the hook. And I said, tomorrow then, thank you. And he said, okay. And I said, no, I didn't get a text from the company officer yet, the company account officer. And he said, hold on. You will get a text from the company account officer now. And I said, I received a message from Jaden Alexander asking me to let him know when the interview is done. Is that him? I knew that wasn't who they were talking about, but I love to muddy the waters. And he said, no, you will get a text from your cell phone number, and the company vendor will be ready to get your working materials ready to ship to you. And I said, oh, who is Jaden? How is he involved in the process? Do I really have to let him know when the interview is done, or is he just crazy? Oh, okay. And I just received a text from Scott. Now, Scott is the money man. Scott is the person who is supposedly going to give me everything that I need to know to get the check from them so that I can deposit the check and then purchase the materials and equipment that I need to get started in this fabulous job with Cognizant. So I say, I told Scott that I am available now. So, Anyway, let me bring you in on the conversation with Scott. So 2:54 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, I get a message from Scott that says, "Hello, hope you have a great day. My name is Scott. I was told to send you a check from Cognizant Company. Are you available to make the deposit right now? Let me know as soon as you get this text." And then he says, "Hope you have a great day. My name is Scott." Basically just repeats what he just sent to me, typos and all, because that's what they do. Everything is copy and paste. So he's got a quick trigger finger and sent it off to me again. He probably intended to send it to somebody else. And I said, "Hello, Scott. I'm here now, and I'm available to make a deposit." This was, and then Sunday at 3:07, I said, "Hello, Scott. Are you getting my message?" And he said, "Okay, and I received your text." All right. So while that is going on, I just want to keep you apprised of what's happening here as well. So I'm going to scroll up on my conversation with Kimberly. And I tell Kimberly, "Scott said I should be available right now to make a deposit, but you said on Monday." And she says, "Okay. I mean, you will be getting your working materials delivered to you on Monday by the company UPS delivery fan."
Special delivery.
Not a delivery
UPS.
van, a delivery fan. And I said, "Oh, so he will send me the check today for deposit?" And then this one gets carried away. "And your training supervisor will come along to set it up." And I said, "The training supervisor will come to my home?" And she responded, "You will be able to get your materials ready for shipping." And I said, "Is that what you mean by come along?" And she said, "She will be the one to set up your softwares for working." And I said, "She will help me online, right?" And then she responds, "Do you understand this part?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Yes, she will guide you through the process." So I said, "So if I understand correctly, Scott will send me a check. I will make a mobile deposit. I will order the stuff from your vendor. The stuff will arrive tomorrow. Your training supervisor will assist me with setting it up online." Yes. And I say, "Scott asked if I was available. I told him I am, but then he didn't answer me. So I don't know if he got my message." So that was because that's what was going on here. So after he had said he received my text, I had said, "Thank you. I'm on standby when you're ready to send the check so I can deposit it by mobile." All right. And that was at, what time was that conversation? That was at 3:11. And then at 3:30, he responded and said, "Do you have an iPad or laptop to display the check?" And I said, "I have a laptop." And then he disappeared again. And that's when I was having this conversation with Kimberly, who I'm pretty sure is the same person anyway. So, so she says, "Hold on. He's kind of busy. He will text you back." And she said, "Can you send me a screenshot?" And I said, "Understood." And she said, "Maybe he can be able to get your message." So I sent a screenshot of the conversation that I'm having with him. And I said, "You can see from the screenshot that I texted, that Scott texted me and I replied." And she said, "Okay, I will forward it to him." She's going to forward him a message of my conversation with him. Now, presumably, if I'm having a conversation with him, he's looking at the message. So just utterly ridiculous. So anyway, and she said, "Hold on, I will text you back." And I said, "Okay." And she said, "Maybe is kind of busy. He will definitely reply you back." Thumbs up. And I said, "Scott, just let me know that he has received my text." And she says, "Okay." All right. So at this point, other things are happening. Just to muddy the waters in the background, because I suspect that this is all one person. I'm trying to make it as difficult as possible. So I've texted Jaden and I said, I just heard from Scott. It seems like he's the one who will send the check for equipment. And he says, yes, have told you before. And I said, Jaden, no, you never discussed Scott or equipment. I was just giving you an update. And I don't know why that more is popping up there. But anyway, I said, I thought you might want to know how the process was going. And he said, I told you that the company account officer will text you and send you money for your working materials. Now remember, Jaden did not tell me that. Kimberly told me that. And this confirms my suspicion that Jaden and Kimberly are the same person, okay? Because he never, in the course of my conversation with him, all he said was, this is the job description, asked a couple of questions, and told me to get in touch with Kimberly. That was the end of my conversation with him. So the fact that he's telling me that he told me these things that Kimberly told me just exposed him. So anyway, I say, Jaden, you did not tell me that. Kimberly told me that. I was just keeping you informed. The company hiring manager will refer you to the company account officer. I said, and he said, yes, that's the reason I told you to text me when you're done with your interview. And I said, yeah, okay, Jaden. Now I know why they don't have you working on important stuff. Kimberly is a lot smarter than you. Anyway, the interview is over and now I'm awaiting a check from Scott. To which he says, okay. Now, following my conversation with Jaden, I pop back over to Kimberly and say, just so you know, Jaden is not a good representative for your company. He's easily confused and he has a bad attitude. I will not deal with him anymore. I prefer to deal directly with you. Now, remember, I'm supposed to be a new hire, which this would be a really bad attitude for a new hire to bring to the table. But they don't care. The response is, okay, sorry for that. I said, I just thought that you should know. Anyway, I'm waiting to hear back from Scott, and I will follow his instructions once I hear back from him. And I send her a screenshot of my my current conversation with him. So anyway, Scott confirms that he received my text, and I say, wonderful, thank you. I'm on standby, ready to make the deposit. That's when he asks me if I have an iPad. Time passes, and I say, are you there, sir? And he says, yeah. And I say, okay, just wanted to make sure that I hadn't missed any messages from you. And his response is, sure, I do. You do what? I don't know. And he said, this is where he gets testy. And I hope you know there's a holiday today. And I said, oh my goodness. I didn't know there was a holiday today. It's a holiday in Canada? And he said, and I said, so I guess I should wait until tomorrow for the check to arrive. And he said, yes. I said, I'm sorry, what holiday is it today? And he said, today is Sunday, which means weekend. And I said, of course, it's Sunday here also. When I was contacted by the representative from your company, I assumed that you were working on Sunday. I will not bother you any more today. I will wait until tomorrow to receive the check and get that sent to the vendors for my equipment. Please excuse me for having bothered you. And he says, yes, I will send you the check if you can deposit it in your Wells Fargo. It's cool. And I say, yes, I can deposit it into Wells Fargo. He told me, kindly text me your full name, your email. Your full name will be on the check. You will receive the check in your email, then make the deposit on your mobile app. And then again, he sends me exactly the same message. So I send him my email address, my fake person email address. I said, Understand, I will make the deposit as soon as I receive it. Now, this is the weird back and forth where they're saying, it's not going to happen today. It'll happen tomorrow. It's Sunday. No, it'll be Monday. It's back and forth. Like right now in the background, I can picture them all sort of trying to figure out, can we get a phony check put together fast enough so that we can get this off to her and get the ball rolling on this scam. Now, at this point, I've already pinpointed them as being most likely in Nigeria. And that's just through some stuff that I've done in the background. So the time difference, it's late for them. It's the afternoon here, but it's getting late for them, especially on a Sunday. They probably just want to settle in with their families and, play with all of the things that they bought with stolen money. So, anyway, so I'll tell him that I understand that he'll be providing the information that I need to purchase the equipment and software. And he says, yes. Then he asks me again, do you have an iPad or a laptop to display the check image? And again, I say, yes. And he says, okay, good. Do you have any idea of your limit? And I say $3,500 a day. What he's trying to figure out is how much money can I deposit by mobile app per day. Most of those have a limit. And he said, did you get it? And I said, let me see if it's in my inbox, thinking he's talking about the check. And I said, I don't see it yet. Was it sent? And I sent him my email address. And I said, did you send it to the correct address? And he said, yes, I know. I'm talking about your limit. I asked for you to check. And I said, I already sent it to you. I told you it's $3,500 a day immediately after you asked me the limit. Please look back at our conversation and you will see my response. And then I sent him a screenshot of our conversation. And I said, that answer was sent to you over 2 hours ago. And he said, yes, check. Like, check the limit. And I said, and then he said, but don't worry, I'm sending $1,200. Now, they told me earlier it was going to be $1,000. Now they're telling me $1,200. But that's not the end of that story. And I say, okay. So Sunday evening, 7:44 p.m., things are still rolling along. I'm ready to be done with this conversation. I'm hoping that they're going to say the check is coming tomorrow, but they're keeping me waiting. So I said, will the check be arriving today or tomorrow? I will be shutting down my computer soon. So I will leave it on for a while if it's coming today. And he said, kindly be on here. I'm sending it now. So that was 7:49 p.m. He said he's sending it now. And I said, okay. 8:04 p.m. I say, it has not arrived. 8:20 p.m. I say, it's getting late. And it's getting late here. So we either need to do this in the next 15 minutes or so, or in the morning. 8:41. You seem to be ignoring me, and I can't wait any longer. Hopefully, we can take care of this in the morning. Now I'm reaching back to Kimberly, and I'm saying, at 8:41 p.m., I've been waiting on the check from Scott for quite some time. But I must leave my laptop now. He told me an hour ago I'm sending it now, but he has not done so. He has not replied to my texts either. I hope we can settle this in the morning, as I would really like to start my job with you soon. So Sunday, 10:04 p.m., I get a text back from Kimberly. Sounds good. Apparently, Scott and Kimberly must have been taking a break together because I didn't hear back from either one of them until that moment. And then she said, all right. Now, Monday morning at 7:02 a.m., I get in touch with Scott and I say, it is Monday and I'm ready. I'm sorry that we were unable to make it work yesterday. And then I hear, let me see, and then I tell Kimberly, good morning, Kimberly. I just wanted to let you know that I'm here and ready to reconnect with Scott. As you know, we need to manage to connect on the equipment. We did not manage to connect on the equipment check last night, but I'm here and ready to make a mobile deposit and get my equipment ordered so that I can begin to work with you. No response until 9:07 a.m. And she says, text the company officer now. And I say, okay. And at 9:08, I text Scott and say, I'm here and ready, like doing what she asked me to do. And then I say, I just texted Scott to Kimberly, to which she says, okay. And I tell her at 9:11, I'm a little worried about him because yesterday he told me to wait at my computer because he was sending the check right away. And then he just disappeared. That's not the action of someone who's trustworthy. And she responds, I told you to hold on. I think there is a problem with the network. And I say, I know you told me. I'm telling you that there was an issue. And she says, have text him here too. So it sounds like she's trying to convince me that she's texted him. And he's not responding to her either. And I say, okay, thank you. To which the response is, of course, okay. Now, Kimberly keeps the ball rolling a little bit here. And she says, I will get back to you now. I say, okay. She says, are you there? I just call him now. He was on a call with the company UPS delivery fan. Again, the delivery fan. And I say, yes, I'm here. Okay. He will text you back now. All right. And I say at 9:27 a.m., okay. All right. Hold on. Will do. And at 10:28, 10:28 a.m., she says, do you got a text now? Well, I did hear at 10:08 a.m. from Scott saying, good morning, and I'm on it. And I said, good morning. Thank you very much. Love to get the equipment order so that I may begin working soon. Finally, at 11:30, so almost an hour and a half later, he says, can you resend your email? The one you sent was not correct. So I resent the email. And I said, if that doesn't work, I will give you my friend's email address. I'm still at her house. At 11:57 a.m., he says, I sent you the check. Make the deposit and show me the screenshot. And I said, I'm checking my inbox to see if it has arrived. Please hold. And he said, I sent you the check. Make the deposit and show me the screenshot. And I said, I see it here. I will print it, make the deposit. I said, I will print it, make the deposit, and send you the screenshot. And he said, check it or your spam folder. Now, I just got done telling him that I received it and this is what I'm going to do with it. I said, I have it. Please give me a moment to print it out, take pictures, and make my mobile deposit. And he says, you don't need to explain on how to make the deposit with it. And I said, what are you talking about? You told me to check my spam folder, so I told you what I was doing. There's no need to be nasty. And then I sent him the Wells Fargo proof of deposit, which, of course, I just dummied up. It was for $1,000. Now, let me tell you about the check before we go any further. So the email with this check from Cognizant Systems arrives from an email address, burkekids@gmail. So believable, right? And not only that, the check is drawn off of a company in St. Charles, Illinois. And in their attempt to doctor the check, they have wiped out the actual check number and put in the date. Somebody who obviously doesn't know what the check number looks like on an American check. They put in a date there because they didn't have any idea that that's where the check number is supposed to go. All right. And then they make the check out for $1,000. So it was $1,000 and then it was $1,200 and now it's $1,000 again. So when I got this check, I put everything on hold and got in touch with Alpine Demolition Services. They are a real company. I was able to speak with a lovely woman there. And we talked about this type of a scam and why I was sent this check. And it always takes a little explaining because people, I think, aren't quite sure whether maybe I'm trying to scam them when I call. I did forward a copy of the check to her and to the woman who handles the bookkeeping for their company so that it's on their radar. But it's most definitely one of their company checks. It's not a dummy check. It has their account number. It has their routing number. And it also has the check number, the original check number on it. So with that, hopefully they're going to be able to figure out who that check was originally issued to, and how it might have ended up in the hands of this scammer. So I always try to take steps to make sure that companies who are having checks drawn without their knowledge are in the loop so that they can notify the bank and have them stop anything that might be coming through. So anyway, that's the check that we're referring to in this conversation with Scott and Kim. And of course, all this time I'm having the conversation with Scott on my text message. I'm communicating with Kimberly in the background, keeping her in the loop, and not really to keep her in the loop, but because now I'm sure that this is the same person. So the idea is I just want to keep this person, I just want to keep their head swimming during the whole process. I've told her that he wrote to confirm my email address and resent her the email address and let her know that I had received the check and that I deposited it and sent her that same receipt that I had just sent to him. Anyway, while I'm telling her that I had just sent that check, she jumps on that right away. I told her that at 12:04, and at 12:06 I hear back, okay, 400 should be there. And now they're going to respond really quickly. So she said, are you there? Hello? Now, when she says 400 should already be there, she means $400 of that $1,000 deposit should already have cleared and should now be available in my checking account. I didn't deposit the check, so I just say, yes, 400 is already available. Sorry, I was in the restroom. What do I do next? And I say, I sent Scott the screenshot, but he did not respond. And she says, hold on. And I say, okay, the company account officer will text you now. So it's like, oh, wait a minute, I need to change hats so I can text you. And I say, okay. And she says, all right. And I say, okay, I'm going to start to give it back to them now. So meanwhile, I'm texting Scott and saying, yeah, the check has been received. I currently have $400 available. Is it time for me to order my equipment? And then finally at 12:40, he says, hello. And I say, I'm here, just awaiting details about how I should order my equipment. And he says, move the money to your Cash App. And I said, I don't have Cash App. I have PayPal. And he sends me 2 question marks like, who doesn't have Cash App? And I say, I don't have Cash App up on my phone. Why are you questioning that? Not everybody has Cash App. You never asked me if I had Cash App. If you had asked me, I would have told you. I only have PayPal for my virtual transactions. This is starting to annoy them, right? Because they want their money desperately and they're set up with Cash App. And he said, you should be able to purchase a Bitcoin on PayPal then. And I said, Bitcoin? Why Bitcoin? Why Bitcoin? Can't I just send you a payment through PayPal? And he says, yes, you can do that on PayPal. Now they're afraid I'm going to get away. They think that I have $400 available. And they want that $400 before the bank lets me know that the check wasn't real. Okay. And thank goodness there's not a real transaction in play here. And he said, let me ask if they accept PayPal. So now he's digging through his stuff trying to figure out, do we have a PayPal address? Do we have something in place that we can send this to? Because it's the only way we're going to get the money from this lady. And he said, send via friends and family only, because of course they want to make sure that there are no fees taken off of it. And he said, and kindly show me the screenshot once you send it. And I said, okay, I can do that. I can absolutely send the payment by PayPal using family and friends. To what email address should I send it? And he said, send it to this PayPal and show me the screenshot, send as family and friends. I said, to which PayPal? You've not sent me an email address. And again, I got the double question marks. I said, I need a PayPal address to send PayPal money. And he said, I said, I don't think I can send it to a phone number. Can I? I will try to send it to your phone number. And then I said, I'll send it to, and I sent him the phone number. And then I quickly, while I'm jerking him around, I'm in the background, making up the dummy receipt that I'm going to send to him. And at the same time, I'm going over and I'm telling Kim, I just sent $400 by PayPal to, and sent her the phone number. I used friends and family, so no fees will be withheld. And she doesn't respond right away. So I say, hello. And of course she doesn't respond right away because she's desperately checking the PayPal account in the background. And I'm saying to Scott, why do you keep disappearing? And he said, I sent you the email. The email? I mean, look, there's no email in play right now. And I said, what email? I received the check. I deposited the check. I sent you $400 by PayPal. What? Why are you sending me an email? And he said, I did not receive it. Kindly check and send it to that email. Send it to friends, family and friends only. And I said, okay. Now, what's happening here in the background? Kimberly is saying, hello. And I'm saying, yes, what's next? Your company is very disorganized. This is a very messy process. And he said, do you text the company account officer now that you have sent the money so that your equipment can be able to ship to you? And I said, I sent him a text as soon as I sent the money. He already knows. And she says, hold on. I think he's calling the company vendor for your working materials delivery. And I said, sure, if you say so. What should I do with the rest of the money? And she said, and I'm doing this for a reason, because they think only $400 is going to clear today. So I'm about really ready to send them into a major tailspin. And she said, you will send the remaining balance of the money. And I said, they just deposited the full amount into my account, so I have $600 more available. And she said, she was telling me that we'll send the remaining equipment before the remaining money before the equipment is delivered. And she said, the $600 is available, right? And I said, yes, it already posted early. And she said, okay, let me call the company account officer. Maybe you will send it to the PayPal giving to you. And I said, sure. Okay. She said, the company account officer will text you now. Hold on. I just text him now. And I say, okay. All right. And then she sends me this address to send the next PayPal to. And I say, is that the email address for the $600 PayPal? Oh, only $500, since you told me I could keep $100 as a bonus. And she said, yes. And I said, 500? And she, right now, she's kicking herself thinking, oh, damn, we could have had the full 600. And she said, send the $500 to the email. And I said, okay. Send it to family and friends. And I said, yes. And she said, okay. I said, it's not accepting that email address. Do you have another one? Because at this point, what I want to do is get as many of their PayPal addresses as I can so that I can report everything to PayPal. But she foiled that plan because instead she sent me a QR code to scan for the payment. And she said, send it to that email. So anyway, and I'm still going back and forth. And they asked me if I have sent the money using PayPal. And I'm assuring Scott that I have. And he's asking me if I sent it through family and friends. Yes. And he said, well, the money you sent went through, so cancel it. So you using PayPal is not an option as well. And I said, actually, I believe I'm going to cancel it and just keep the money. You guys are too much trouble to deal with. And that kind of got a whole new thing going. But in the background, I'm telling Kimberly that I'm going to use the QR code, and I ask her to hold. And she's reminding me again, family and friends, and I'm saying, right. And she says, hello, I know you've been tripping. If you don't want us to put a hold on the check and you will be in trouble now and forever, send the money back. We are done with you. And I don't respond. And this is because, now, I didn't say that to her. I said that to Scott. I said that I'm going to keep the money, that they're too much trouble. And right away, Kimberly, who is supposedly not sitting in the same office as Scott because she has to keep texting him and calling him, knows immediately that I'm giving him grief about the money. Okay? So anyway, she says, should we cancel the shipping of your equipment? And I said, I will send it back. I was just kidding. And she says, okay. I said, where should I send it? It was just a joke. Calm down. So anyway, then they're trying to figure out if I have Zelle. And in the meantime, Scott is telling me that he says, you mean I should call all the money back and make the check bounce? And I said, I will send it to you. I'm just having fun. And he said, hello, if you try to play with me, you will be in trouble. And then I said, I just sent the money with Zelle. Calm down, because Kimberly is telling me to send it by Zelle. All right. So, and this is the email address that she gave me to send it to, Sminchy Marius. And anyway, so I do create this Venmo receipt for them. And as you can see, I made sure that the Venmo receipt says at the top, success. Your payment has been submitted and for your protection is undergoing security review. It typically takes less than 9 hours. No action is needed on your part. We'll text or call if we need more information. So they've got this $500 that was supposedly sent to them, and it's hanging in limbo because Zelle, I said Venmo, I think, but Zelle is supposedly investigating the payment, and you know they've got to be going nuts right now. Oh my God, what's happening, right? Now, at this point, I've sent that Zelle notification to both Scott and Kimberly. And Scott is responding, are you kidding me? Why are you sending a fake screenshot? And I say, no, that's from Zelle. It's real, jackass. To which I send him a picture of a jackass. And Kimberly, I've got going over here. I'm telling her, why did I get this message saying that the payment is undergoing a security review? I used the address you gave me. Are you a scammer? To which she says exactly what Scott said. Are you kidding me? And I said, that's what I want to know. Are you kidding me? Why did I get this message from Zelle? And she says, text the company account officer. And I say, I already did. She says, did you get the message back from him? And I said, yes. He says it's all your fault because you're a scammer. And then I sent her the Nigerian flag, which at the same time I was sending to him. And she says, show me your bank history. And I say, show me yours first. And he's saying simultaneously, show me your bank history. And then said it goes. And I said, show me yours first. And he said, now I see that you are tripping. Do you think you are talking to dumb person like you? Well, let me make a report. And I say, yes, I do. And then I said, you do that. And to which I'll send him a picture of a Nigerian police official. And he said, let me put a hold and report the check as a stolen check so that I can get all of the money back as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Kimberly is saying, you're trying to rip the company off, right? We have your information here. To which I respond, do you though? And she says, okay, the company account officer will take it from here. And I say, you've been lying to me. I've been lying to you. It's a beautiful relationship. Now, they're all done here, but I get threats in my inbox from Scott. Now, Scott, using the same email address that he used to send me the bad check, sends me this email. I would advise you to just return my money before you get yourself out of this arrangement, or else you will regret meeting me. Don't forget, I have all of your personal info to get to you. I can clearly see you're trying to abscond with my money. Do you think you can do that and go walk out free? I would be reporting this to the FBI just like I did the last person who tried this same thing. I advise you to please don't joke with your life. I'm older than you. He has no idea how old I am. None. I'm older than you, and you won't witness the way have deal with people trying to steal from me. Before it gets out of hand for you, don't get your hand in what would make you away from your family. I will appreciate you get my money sent back, and after that, you're free to stop talking. And if not, it's fine. So this won't be my first time dealing with someone like this. You're too young for the problems you're putting yourself in, and I'll make sure this affect you in your field of work and also run your credit scores and records. I'm not stupid, dear. Yeah, you kind of are. All right, but it didn't stop there. He sent another email. The next one said, I see you are trying to act smart with my money. I'm calling my CFO right now to reverse the check with the financial tools, and that will automatically overdraft your account. So he's sending me a screenshot, apparently, of having overdrafted somebody else's account. This person said, apparently they said, send me a screenshot of your available balance. And they said, I'm in a negative. Send me the screenshot. Anyway, showing this negative balance of $883,000. And send me a screenshot of your account history. And so there's all of this. And I mean big negative. The kids can get $300 tomorrow and $700 Friday. That's a $1,000. So why would you do that? You don't want the kids to get their money? And there's this conversation, apparently, that they had with somebody who had tried to pull this on them before. Yeah. Anyway, so this is supposed to threaten me, that he's apparently had this conversation with somebody before, and I'm supposed to be afraid of this. But I'm not, because they don't have any of my real information. I didn't make any deposits. There was none of that. And then the final email. Do you want me to show you more, prove I'm capable of doing this? And that was the last threat, because I didn't respond. It wasn't fun for them to play the game anymore. I didn't take them seriously. I really hope that those other messages weren't from somebody who had actually been hit hard. I don't think they were, given the numbers. I don't think anybody who would have had those kinds of numbers in their account would have been trying to get this kind of a job from this kind of a person. But anyway, there we have it. It is a classic. We're going to send you a bad check for equipment that isn't really coming, and you're going to wire us back money, which we'll have before you ever realize that the check you deposited was bad, and you're going to be out at the end of the day, $1,000. But this one, they really tipped their hand. And in the end, those emails show you just how vicious these people can be. I mean, they get really, really ugly about this stuff. Anyway, so that's it. That kind of wraps up this scam. It's Wednesday today. I've been wanting to share this with you since Sunday. But as you can see, it's a lot of back and forth. Takes a little time to put together, and sort of straighten everything out. But I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that it gives you another glimpse into the kimono of people who are pulling these kinds of scams and how their minds work and the hoops that they'll jump through to try to get into your wallet. Don't worry about me. Everything's fine here. They're definitely overseas. They definitely will not be able to get into my accounts. But I do think it's important for people to see just how vicious they can be on the other side, because sometimes people will get those threats and they'll believe that something is actually going to happen to them, and they'll act against their better judgment because of that. So don't do that. For legitimate work from home jobs, I encourage you to visit our website at ratracerebellion.com. Don't visit a bunch of these work from home focused Facebook groups that are just, so many of them are just completely littered with scammers like this, making posts, trying to get everybody to jump on board and send them a little money here and there. And make no mistake about it, these scammers are successful. They are making money. People are falling for this and they are sending them money. Don't be one of those people. Share this video with friends and family who think that they're applying for a real job, who may be falling for this, or with people who are out there looking for work from home jobs so that they know what to avoid. Also, I encourage anybody who's seeking a job right now, take our free online course. It's a series of 10 videos that will not only show you how to avoid scams, but how to navigate your way to the perfect work from home job for you. And I say perfect because you'll be tailoring every search that you do specifically for you. And when I say free, we don't even ask for an email address, nothing. There's no way for us to know that you've even taken the course unless you reach out and let us know. We will not be badgering you by email. We won't be trying to upsell you, because there is no upsell. It is a straight up 10 module course that you watch the videos on your own time. We have resources to support those modules, lots and lots of links and downloads and other information, all free on the Rat Race Rebellion website. We are here to help people avoid scams and find a legitimate remote job, one that's actually going to pay them and that they can feel comfortable and happy having. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, please like the video, click on subscribe. And if you subscribe, make sure you click that little bell to make sure that you receive notifications whenever we put up new content on this channel. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment below. Stay safe out there. Bye-bye.